Hello everybody, and welcome to this special edition of Chris Pritchard's Cycling News Show. No news today, it's just me in the car on a Saturday morning, 6 AM, and I'm off to Appleby in Westmoreland. Was it Westmoreland? Westmoreland. I know one thing, it's a bloody long way away. So, 2 hours and 20 minutes, start now. Finished. Very satisfied. Anyway, we're here at our destination. So we're here for one reason, and one reason only, and that is to learn the craft behind bike mechanicking. I'm sure you'll agree, if you've seen any of my live streams, you'll have noticed they are interspersed with very poorly adjusted rear derailleurs. So I'm hoping that this course over the next 2 days will teach me. I still believe it's my bike, it's not the mechanicking skills. I still believe that there's something wrong with my bike, which I guess we'll find out today, as to why I can't adjust my gears on the kicker to have smooth gear transitions. It's just not happening. Alright, so we've been here for, I don't know, about an hour now, and already I managed to do my first job. New wheel bearing, I've put it in all on my own. So what we're doing is we're basically taking our bikes to pieces, so going from the bike, just taking it to pieces, putting it all back together, new cables, new bearings if it needs it, well, that's it, new cables or new bearings, and then actually finding out how the bike goes back together. So I know it's not very tidy, but all my pieces are here in order. And then check this out, so much power that I've chewed this up, which is more down to the fact that I didn't tighten it up properly the first time round. Next job is to put all this, well, clean this and then put it all back together.
You've got bits left over?
No, thankfully not yet. But I've not put it all together. I'm not going to put it together until we've got that spring, if we can get that spring. Yeah, I thought that was on. I thought this was this side, but I still.
What?
Oh, it does go on.
Yeah, it does go on.
Oh right, it weren't going on earlier.
You know I said about laying things out?
But I laid them out and I put that with that, so I was like, right, I know that's that side. But when I came to put this back on this side, it was this side that it wouldn't go on.
Okay, so what will happen is, if we got it wrong, when we get the wheel back into the bike, it'll be to one side or the other.
Yeah.
So then...
But just have a go, pop in.
They'll both go on. They'll thread on both sides.
That doesn't want to go on that side though,
No.
not as well as the other side. But is that because there's dirt in the threads, or...?
It doesn't feel very nice, does it?
No.
Hold that for a second.
So what are the other things in there as well?
Sorry,
The white stuff in there.
Right, you've got three types of grease. This is a very viscous grease.
Mm-hmm.
They call it mountain bike grease, but it's just a really good viscous grease. So if you want to keep moisture out, that's the guy.
Right.
This has got PTFE in it, so anywhere where there's two things moving against each other.
Right.
And this is a ceramic one, so where you want to keep things from corroding into each other. So two bits of metal next to each other.
You'd use that.
That you don't want them to corrode, you'd use
right.
that. But again, for the reasons I was talking over there about, I said nothing moves very fast on a bike.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of marketing around greases on bikes. You're not using them in very hot temperatures, you're not using them in very cold temperatures, and they're not moving very fast.
Right.
So outside the pure performance, I want to keep the drag right down.
Right. You don't really need it.
And you will find on some wheels, you'll find silly things that the fulcrum wheels, for instance, quite often you'll take them apart and you'll find what they've done is they've picked the inner seal off. So the seals that are sitting on the inside here, they've picked those seals off.
On purpose?
On purpose, the idea being that it reduces the drag.
Right, but it's not noticeable to a...
If I do a fulcrum wheel, I just leave the seals on both sides.
Boom, no movement. So last time I don't think I'd tightened this up as well, tight enough. And in doing so, it's allowed the cassette to wedge itself into the free hub. So hopefully now I've tightened it up enough. Mind you, it's still going to wedge itself in it because the grooves have been cut already. Alright, next job, this. So I'm going to take this, check the bearings here, replace them if need be, and then, I've already replaced this cable as well.
Just get hold of the cable.
Right, and hold it and make sure it's...
Just making sure that there's no stiction, that's working.
Yeah.
And if you felt any snag or it wasn't like coming out,
right, yeah.
We could have a burr in there end.
Yeah.
If you hadn't like used that little...
with the snag on the inside,
You could have snags, so...
Replaced that, adjusted it. Beautiful. Hello everybody. Welcome to Bottom Brackets with me, Hambini! It's not really Hambini, it's Pritchard, isn't it? We're going to replace this bearing here because, well, there's play there, but that looks more play because of the tolerances in the bottom bracket rather than the actual bearing. The bearing seems fine. What do you think of it, Hambini? I don't know. But by the end of the day, what I do know is it nearly falls out. What I do know is I'm not going to be getting a job as a mechanic anytime soon. Fun fact here, actually, my first ever job leaving school, I was a motorcycle mechanic. Got sacked after a week. I stayed in the same company for 6 years, but they moved me onto the parts department. Sacked me as a mechanic because I was rubbish. How many things I haven't failed at? Alright, change of plan. We are changing the bearings. Look, it's got no bearings in now. There was too much movement in it, and the bearings had actually gone. They'd gone. To be fair, that one's alright. When I force my fingers through it, apply a bit of pressure, it's fine. But then gritty. So we're going to replace both bearings and seal them with some bearing sealing compound. Don't know what that is. This might make me dangerous now. I might be good on a bike again. Maybe all my power's getting sapped away by this bearing.
What do we need to go at next?
New set of bars.
Yeah. Oh, back brake.
That is disgusting, Tim. This is what happens when you ride a bike indoors. Are these Ultegra as well?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's an issue for...
I've got a picture where this handlebar, before I changed the handlebar, there was just a big hole.
Yeah.
There was a big hole in the handlebar?
In the handlebar, there's just a big hole.
Because of your sweat?
Because the sweat had just gone through the handlebar. I mean, it's starting to do it here already, but...
You disgusting.
These are only 12 months old.
What, the bars?
These bars are only 12 months old.
Special tool, Tim.
The special tool is out again.
I'm feeling pretty smug with myself because everybody else here is having problems with their bikes, which actually means that this bike, even though we all slag it off in the old stream, is a lot better and a lot well maintained than Tim's. Who would have thought it? I'm actually growing quite attached to it now. So here we are back at Helmwind Cycles for day 2 of our bike mechanicking workshop. Right, so this is like a special one-off thing that John and Dave do for general public, who can come in and do like 2 days basically stripping their own bike down, getting to know their own bike and then rebuilding it and actually finding out if there's any issues with it along the way. Not only that, you're getting the knowledge of actually being able to do your own repairs when you get home. One thing I will say though is they have all the tools here, which makes it so much easier. Like at home I've got 4 Allen keys, 2 spanners and a Phillips head screwdriver, and I have to kind of make do. But here everything's catered for, so no matter what your problem is, you can get it sorted here, which is great. But actually doing that at home is a lot harder when you don't have the right tools. But not only do they do these 2-day courses for like the general public, they also do the curriculum for bike mechanicing. So if you want to be a bike mechanic, if you want to take your first steps into the bike industry and you want to be a bike mechanic, then this is where you'd come and do it. They do a 2-week intensive course to get you level 3, I think, bike mechanicking. So then you can go out into the world and fix other people's bikes, not only your own bike. So if you want to be a mechanic in the UK, this is where you're probably going to have to come to at some point to train. This is what everybody's got on their benches. Everyone's got one of these, and it's pretty much a cyclist's toolkit. This is exactly what you need for main maintenance on your bicycle. So you got your, that's like an 8 and a 12 and a 6mm Allen heads, chain whip, invaluable 4, 5 and 6mm Allen keys all on one. You've got an 8mm Allen key there, 10mm Allen key. You've got some pliers that makes putting speed links on chains easy, wire cutters, 2, 2.5 and 3 mils, adjustable spanners. That's for, oh god, that's for your rear cassette. Not a very good one, that one. The Park do a better one than that, but you can use that. That's your little gizmo for your cranks on a Shimano. Getting that little plastic cap off the end. A crank puller for something else, I think. I don't need one of them though. A ruler, because who don't want to measure themselves when they're busy. Link extractor, snips. This little tool, I don't know exactly what this is called. Someone in the comments will let me know, but you can link your chain up together to do something, I don't bloody know, but we've used it. I'm going to get myself some syringes, because look how useful that is. Oops, sorry. And then obviously T-bar Allen keys. There you go. The mechanics heaven. So you can see here, this is the workshop. This is where they'd bring people in to teach them how to do it. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stands. So they can have 7 people working on bikes, and these stands so much better than mine at home. They don't have any legs, so it's just bolted into the ground, so you can get around it without tripping up over your stand. If you've got a home stand, you'll know exactly what it's like. Anyway, it's time to go and check in on Tim and see what he's up to. Morning, Tim.
Morning, Chris.
So, can we have an update on the bike? It's looking a little bit better than it was, but still, no cables, no brakes.
There won't be any cables and there won't be any brakes.
Is that it now? Is this
So
RIP?
So this
Venge.
is what I had yesterday,
yeah.
And this is what I brought this morning.
Oh right, so you're making the most of the time by bringing the Villier in. What if this is in exactly the same state? It shouldn't be, because this came to, this went up Val Thorens a few times, didn't it? This went to the Tour de France.
Yeah, it's fine, it works. I've got new tyres, so it should be fine.
These slicks, I don't know about you, but I would ride on slick tyres. Not in the British the British roads and the British weather, but they're a damn sight better than the tyres he had in France. In France, he turned up to the Tour de France, so we did 10 days in the Tour de France, and you could see the canvas, and he rode for 9 days like that. Idiot. Tim, what are we doing here?
We are checking the hanger alignment on the rear mech, because that's what we do nowadays, Chris.
Yeah, I know. So you screw that into where the rear mech goes.
Yeah, into there. Then you line this up, go around here. It's pretty good, that.
That's pretty straight, that, isn't it? Mine was way out, weren't it?
You're well bent.
Well, so they say.
I reckon it's alright.
Good work, Tim.
Thanks, Chris.
Alright, so the first job this morning is have a cup of coffee. But secondly, it's to index my gears. We tried to do it last night real quick before we left early, and what John did was took a link out of my chain, because what we found is that I cut the chain and I cut it too long, or I didn't cut it short enough. So we've taken a link out of the chain, but still my gears won't index the way they should be, so I think that's the first job, to investigate that and try and find out why they're not. It's not me, see? You all said it's me, but it's not. It's not. Nailed it. Finally, my gears are indexed as good as they're going to get. Rear mech hanger was slightly bent, and there's some sort of issue going on with the interface just there, which is causing it to not index perfectly. However, that is as good as it's going to get until I get it on my kicker. Alright, so one job I've not been able to do is bleed my brakes, because I brought my road bike up and that doesn't have hydraulic brakes, it just has normal brakes. Don't judge me. But my mountain bike has hydraulic brakes and they need bleeding. Long story short, but I swapped the cables around because when the bike arrived, it came with continental brake lever system, so rear brake on the right, front brake on the left. I swapped the cables around, but in doing so, allowed air to leak into the system, screwed it up a little bit, and not had really good brakes on my mountain bike. So what I want to do now is head home, test out my knowledge from this course and see if I can actually apply what I've learned here into theory, no, into practice, and actually do a job I've never done before in my life on a mountain bike.